My name is Gary Martin, and I'm the Executive Director at Access Sacramento. I have been here for 7 years now, formerly a college professor and teaching radio, TV, and film down at Cosumnes River College. But it is a delight to have you as part of the orientation and to encourage you to participate. You're in the main office now, and this is where we would take fees from you when it comes time to pay fees. We'll use the little device here to build your membership card and do all of those types of things. When you call the main office, this is where they can take a payment on the phone. Once you are a member of Access Sacramento and you have your membership card, then you can sign up for a class. So you do not need to come into the office in order to complete a class purchase. You can just call in, they'll take a credit card over the phone. But ultimately, to really complete the membership, we want to give you a membership card with your picture on it. We also are going to check and make sure that you live in Sacramento County. If you don't live in Sacramento County, then you're going to get a support letter from either the Capital Film Arts Alliance or some other group that allows you to say, yeah, I'm doing videos in support of Sacramento County. And with that letter, then you're able to do that. If you're connected with any other Sacramento County nonprofit, anything along those lines, any of those support letters go into your file. You can become a member whether you live in Davis or in West Sacramento or Granite Bay, all of those not a part of Sacramento County, right? But you can become a member in that way. Provide proof of residency, pay your fees, get your membership card, you're ready to go. Okay, so here in the office, we have a variety of things that are going on. Down the hall here is where our programming department is, and that's where TD Trice would take video from you. You can upload content to him here in the office the first 4 times once you have a series contract, or if you are a paid member and are ready to start submitting, we have an online portal that will allow you to participate by uploading YouTube style from home. And we can do that. So on the left is the Sacramento channel, and that's where we're in transition on a program apparently. And then over here on the right is the channel that is channel 18. That is the open channel, and you can see it's a church kind of program here. So Access Sacramento is actually in the Coloma Community Center of the city of Sacramento. It was originally built in 1923 and expanded in 1929. It closed because of earthquake retrofitting in the 1970s and reopened as the Coloma Community Center in the mid-1980s. And so here in the hallway, you can see some of the movies from a place called Sacramento and some of the awards that have been received before. All of those pieces are kind of as a reminder of the good quality work that we do. WAVE Awards are the Western Access Video Excellence Awards, and they recognize top quality video from programs that are public access in 6 Western states. And so Access Sacramento wins 4 or 5 of those a year, including this last year, which was kind of exciting. A couple of our place called Sacramento Films were the winners. We had a high school PSA competition, that won as well. This next door in this former elementary school, now Coloma Community Center, is second classroom. This is our production office. And here in the production office, it is where you would connect with checking out equipment for shooting and editing. And a good example of that is the camera that is set up right over here. So this particular camera on a tripod is the ones that get checked out by our members. This is a 4K camera. It's only about a year old, and it is the top quality kind of video equipment that's available to you to create professional video. It means that it has good XLR professional audio hookups. You see the little the light here, but the idea that we check out lights, we check out the tripods, we check out cameras, and we teach you how to use this camera correctly. Nothing worse than going out and taking video of this beautiful, grassy field and having the grass come out yellow. So we're going to check this out to you after you are certified and taking your class. Another thing that happens in this space is actually radio. So we have Studio 3, Studio 2, and Studio 1. Now, Studio 1 is the location where we would normally have people record programs. So as you come into this space, this is where you would learn how to do a radio board show, how to be a disc jockey, or to host an interview program. All of the equipment that is here is mirrored in the live studio. So whether you want to play vinyl, CDs, whether you want to play your computer, whether you want to do any source of content for music, we can put it into a program and record it there. This is actually the live radio station. Now, most times in the evenings particularly, we're going to be recording programs. But this is the live studio right now. I'm going to turn up the audio. I have no idea what that is, but I will tell you that that is what is on the air right now from one of our community producers. There's automation, there is the audio board, there's the ability to bring music in. The interesting part about this space though, and what is truly fun right now, is the fact that we have a brand new call-in talk show capacity. It means that for people who want to do a live call-in talk show, they can do that. Now, it does mean that you as an interviewer, as the person who's doing the show, now needs to also have a telephone operator. But it is a new capacity that only exists really in the last couple of months. So it's an exciting opportunity. Our radio station is KUBU, the only station where you can be you on the radio. KUBU, 96.5 FM. If you were here in the building, I would say your homework is, former college professor, go out to the car and tune in to KUBU 96.5 FM. Low power FM though is hyper local radio, and that means that it's only going to go about 5 miles from our transmitter downtown. But there is streaming for both channel 17, 18 and the radio station from our main website, and we actually have an app. KUBU 965 FM is an app from the Google Play Store and also from iTunes. You can download the app and listen to our radio station anywhere in the world. I've listened to it from Egypt, I've listened to it from Rome, so absolutely tune that in, okay? So this is the radio station. The one last thing that I want to talk to you about, though, before we leave this space, is the idea that when we go into the TV studio in just a minute, we're going to also show you something called virtual reality. That's the green screen studio, where there's this opportunity to create something that doesn't otherwise exist in a really professional way. So if we come around this way, I'm going to show you a screen, because this particular television show called Living in the West was created in our green screen. And as you look at this desk, notice that there's this backdrop and there's the little TV monitor that's there. And as you look at the desk, it's a nice black granite topped desk with this big oak front. The important part here is that that's actually a green drape behind them. And that desk is actually, honestly, a card table with a green drape over the top of it. So none of that exists except in virtual reality. And we can teach you to do that too. But the important part of what we're going to talk about is that in order to do green screen, you have to start by using the regular studio first. So you have to learn about audio, and you need to learn about lights, and you need to learn about switching and cameras and angles and some of that stuff. So in order to do this, which is top quality and high tech, you have to start by learning the basics in the basic studio class. And that's always on Saturday mornings, 6 Saturday mornings in a row from 9 until noon. Okay, so this is the main production office, and let's go next door into the TV studio, classroom number 3 of the Coloma Community Center. Okay. So TV studios always look bigger on camera than they do in real life, and I will tell you that this space is really pretty cool because it is all modern, completely modern. As we look at the back, there's some really nice sets here. They rotate around, and so you can have one side or the other, depending on what your look and desire is. But use these different set pieces, a television monitor like this, or more importantly, this even bigger one. One day it's Local Talent Showcase, the other day it's Sacramento Dugout, another time it's Livewire, one of the shows that we do, and it's an opportunity to do a different look, throw a different plant in. You know, we do a lot of sit around and talk shows, and those types of programs work really well in this space. But we've also done 17 steel drums. We've also done 21 youth Chinese dancers doing little flips, all sorts of stuff. So in this space, you can be very, very creative. A big part of that, obviously for television studio, is both audio and lighting. So above us are all contemporary lights, LED lights that allow us to put appropriate lighting for television. But unlike the old style, which was really hot being under those lights, these are LED. So it's nice, cool, and comfortable even in the summer in this space. The other piece that we want to talk about is the idea that we have high-definition cameras. Now those cameras are really state-of-the-art. They are only a year old. They have the perfect camera body. They have a brand new lensing system. All of that capacity to then operate just like you would in a professional TV studio. But this also includes, for example, the ability to use a teleprompter. So on the front of these lenses is this box which allows the lens to see through. And if you notice, right, there's a computer monitor that's down here that reflects up onto the glass. And what that means is that the lens sees straight through the glass, and you can actually read the words right off the screen. That's what a teleprompter is. Have you noticed that the local television news people, they don't have scripts on the desk anymore, right? It's all on an iPad, it's on a screen, it's in the teleprompter. And it's pretty magical what they're able to do. We can do that here too. Teleprompters, high definition cameras, lights, we teach you how to do that. You learn how to operate the audio board. Used to be in this studio until it was reconfigured a couple of years ago. We had only 8 audio inputs. Now we have 32. You want to put 9 microphones on that drum set so it sounds perfect? You absolutely can do that, and we can help you make that happen. Okay? This is the studio. It's a part of the Saturday morning class. In addition to the Saturday morning class for the studio, we also teach you how to use the control room. If I can manage the door, high-tech door. Okay, so here in this space, again, entirely upgraded in the last couple of years. All of the different monitors are connected with the video switcher character generator. This is where you have the director that normally sits. You see controls for the cameras here, okay? The monitors show cameras 1, 2, 3. We can also put cameras 4 and 5 in there because they can be hardwired, but 3 is the normal number. And as you look at this audio board, video board called the video switcher, does it look complicated? Sure it does. But you know, when you get right down to it, each of these rows of buttons can only have one button on at a time. So it's either camera 2 or camera 1, for example. And as we deal with the switcher, we learn to use the correct language. A director uses commands of preparation followed by commands of execution. You would say ready camera 1, and 1 becomes ready on the preview monitor, and then it's take camera 1. And now 1 is on the air and we're ready to go on to the next camera. Only one button at a time. It looks confusing, but you know what? We're going to train you how to do it correctly. Whether you want to do something that is, for example, a pretty straightforward transition. As you look at the main monitor there, you can see that one image kind of fades out and the next one comes in. That's called a dissolve. And we can teach you to prepare to dissolve to camera 2 and then dissolve to camera 2. Or with a very limited switch, you can actually do a different type of transition, which is called a wipe, right? That's just one more button. And we teach you how to do that as well. So, directing, switching, graphics. Graphics for television also look kind of complicated, don't they? But you know what? Can you change the text look? Make it a different font? Can you make it a different color? Can you underline it? If you can do that in a Word document, you too can do computer graphics. Absolutely. Over here is the virtual reality equipment. This is also where we do video playback from. It's called a NewTek TriCaster. It's the way that we put video opens, public service announcements, and other videos during a program on the air comes out of this equipment, and we teach you how to do that. We also teach you about audio. And the audio, again, does this look like a complicated device? It has all sorts of buttons and knobs and lights, doesn't it? But an audio board is very much just like your radio station in your car. Can you turn it on? Can you turn it off? Can you make it louder? Can you make it softer? Can you make it sound high? Can you make it sound low? If you can do that on your car radio, you can also do that on this audio board. Because each of these rows of buttons is just like one radio station. The difference is that you have multiple audio microphones. Now, the important part of this is that when you deal with this device, it is the exact same device, the exact same switcher, the exact same character generator as is in our high definition truck when you go out in the field. So when you learn to use this equipment in this TV studio, you are also learning how to use the truck. And when you deal with this, it does look complicated, but you know what? As you look down into that device, you know, there's some programming that allows you to move stuff around automatically. Those settings are more in use for the HD truck because that's when we're doing live television broadcasting for sports. When we go out with 6 cameras to a live television football game, we're going to do the big audio board, the big video board, as well as the big audio board. It's the idea that we're going to put microphones on those 2 baskets at a basketball game. Because you want to be able to hear that ball come in and go dork and miss, or go whoop and come through. But if you don't have a microphone there, and if you don't actually open that microphone, you're never going to hear that sound, and the energy of an event is dramatically changed. So whether it's sports, whether it's dance recitals, whatever it happens to be, we're going to be able to help you put that on television. And by taking a class like this, you learn how to be successful, not just in our world, but in the world of broadcasting overall. Okay? So we've looked at 3 of our spaces. There's one more I want to show you, and the last stop on our tour is just down the hall in the Digital Media Lab. I told you that the Coloma Community Center was built in 1923 and then expanded in 1929. So this is another one of those classrooms. The Coloma Community Center is a historic site. And what that means is that it will never, ever change locations. It'll never change looks from the outside. What it means is that we'll never have a big Access Sacramento sign on the outside because it's just not allowed. But this is the last space that we want to show you. It is also the last space that is not yet remodeled. Okay, so this is our Digital Media Lab, and it involves a space that was originally a 1929 classroom, and while the carpets are new and we have some brand new iMac computers here, if you look kind of in the distance, you see pegboard. Well, you can also see an old chalk tray. That's because the 1929 classroom, the green chalkboards are behind that pegboard. We were not able to take those out because they're a part of a historic site. But we are planning to put in drop ceilings, a better training environment, brand new, high definition, high capacity air conditioning. So this training site is the last that is about to be remodeled. These 6 Macintosh computers are using Apple Final Cut Pro and are about to switch over to the entire Adobe Creative Cloud, so you'll be able to learn Adobe Premiere. We're going to put in 6 computers for IBM that will expand this lab to 12 computers, and where you would be able to learn all of that software to create and edit using the cameras we saw in the first room, and now editing in this space over the course of a total of 8 nights. The last part to be remodeled, still about to happen here within the next 6 months or so. Okay, well that does conclude our tour, and I know I had questions answered before we went on this tour, but I do want you to know that I appreciate very much your longevity in surviving a very long virtual meeting, and I hope you've enjoyed learning about Access Sacramento, enjoyed the tour. My thanks to Carlos Hernandez for operating camera on the walkabout here today. But if you have additional questions, please go ahead and connect with my email at accesssacramento.org, Gary Martin at accesssacramento.org. Call the main office, and more importantly, we hope that we will find you here in our facilities creating programs and more importantly, getting your voice on the air for cable 17 or 18 or on our radio station KUBU very, very soon. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and if you have other questions, don't hesitate to reach back out to me by email or calling into the office. Best wishes, stay safe, stay healthy, and again, thank you for your time and attention with Access Sacramento. Good night.